42, the 42 goes down low, the 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though, and Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Bertiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down in the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Go into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Garrett Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome everybody into some not Sunday, it's Monday. It's what holidays do to you. It gets you all mixed on up. It's Monday night racing action here with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Cup Series as they head on into their final home stretch, the final 2 races of this season. Who's going to be walking away with that championship? We'll find that out next week, but we got to get things narrowed down to the final 10, which is happening here at the end of this one at Daytona, where 80 laps separates the men from the boys, and we find out who's going to make it into that top 10, and this is going to be a good one to watch indeed. So time to buckle up, strap on those drinking helmets, throw inhibition out the window. It's time to get to some racing, so we'll start things off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge thank you to the proud sponsors of the NTRL, like tonight's race sponsor of JP Designs and 3D Prints. Be sure to go check them out for some paint schemes as well as some 3D printing. Some great stuff happening on over there. So big thank you to JP Designs and 3D Prints. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to DEP Graphics. Some fantastic paint schemes coming out of that garage every single day. So be sure to go and check them on out and get yourself a customized paint scheme here tonight. Of course, big thank you as well to Sim Gear Central. Some good button boxes there that can just help aid you in whatever sim experience you're trying to get to, because it's got all the flip dials and turn knobs for your flight sim, your iRacing, your truck sim, even the Sims. Be sure to head on over to Sim Gear Central to pick up a button box here today. course, big thank you as well to Track Bar Media. Some very, very good real life and sim life videography and photography of real life and sim life racing. So be sure to go check out all the details over at their page over at trackbarmedia.com. Big thank you to those guys. And of course, big thank you as well to Martin Sports. Some fantastic custom apparel for team jerseys and even some race gear as well. So be sure to get you and your team all hooked up today with some customizable athletic wear over there at Martin Sports. As always, oop, that's not the right button. That's the right button. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I'm doing a little bit better today. Room is not 1,000 degrees, and I am joined by the Brewmaster in general here tonight up in the booth with me, Mr. Alan English, all locked in and loaded as here we are coming on down to the wire, Mr. English, and it's going to be a roll of the dice to see who makes it through to that final 10, who's picking up the win, and what else is ever going to happen here?
Oh, loaded is right, my friend. No, this is the classic 2.5 mile super speedway, the one that started it all here. And it's a great place to have our penultimate race here in this season of the Super Speedway League, or the Next Gen Cup Car League here. We didn't really know what to think coming into this season. But it really has been a great season of racing here with this new platform, the Next Gen car. So I don't think it's been disappointing at all. I think it's been great. Look forward to see what they decide to do in the next iteration of the Monday Night League. I don't know what platform they're going to be running or whatever next season. There'll be announcements to be made here shortly, I'm sure, by DW and the crew over at NTRL. So.
It's Xfinity.
Is it going to be Xfinity?
Yep.
Oh man, freaking sweet! I can't wait to get away from this car. I'm just kidding. No, but it's been a great season. Can't wait to see how it shakes out next week, man. And, it's been a blast here so far. So.
Right, that it has. Is down there on pit road is our anger management specialist himself, Mr. Adam Turner, locked in on pit road. And Adam, you know what? Like the season goes on, tempers have been boiling over for a couple races now. Coming into a super speedway race where sometimes your enemy becomes your friend and sometimes your friend becomes your enemy.
Yeah, it's the age-old chump to champ, champ to chump. You better find a dance partner somewhere on this track if you're gonna win. You can really ride in the back if you want. You just need to stay within that kind of the draft. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 like draft teams that can kind of hang out way back in the back and just hang with the main draft. We'll just have to see how it goes tonight. There is one more race. I think we're at Atlanta next week.
Yeah, old Atlanta.
Is it old Atlanta? That'll be fun. And yeah, I'm with you. I think the Xfinity cars will be much more fun than these Harbor Freight machines. But I also want to thank all the you peasants out there, all the laborers, me included. Happy Labor Day to everybody, all the common man, all of us real people. Thank you. The elites gave us a day. Can you believe they let us have our own day? The elites did that. What? We just should pay them many taxes and just, kiss their feet because they gave us this day. Yeah. Let's take a stand. Tired of this stuff going on around here. Let's party tonight and have a race. And then I can argue with everybody else after if you guys want to stay about the roots of Labor Day and
let's
why
party.
they treat us so bad. Anyway, I'm all fired up, Brown. Let's get it going.
You're not going to read off the rules?
Oh, I'm so mad. I don't know the rules. All right, one
loser.
fast repair. One fast repair. 65% fuel, 3 sets of tires, 18 incident points. You get a penalty, 25 innocent points. You get disqualified. The track is nice and cool. And yeah, I went on a rant. Happy Labor Day to everybody because we're the ones that make America go, not those elites like Bill Gates and those
Hey, you didn't build
clowns like Bezos, huh? We.
that. You didn't build that. Somebody
He
else
didn't
built
build anything. That guy hadn't done a thing for this country but tried to destroy it. We're the real workers, the real Americans right here. Let's have some fun like Americans do.
Yeah.
And that indeed, as we take a look here at that race info, beautiful weather here tonight. A night race under the lights here for this Daytona race. Track temp not going to be a big problem whatsoever. No rain in the forecast as well, so these drivers are going to stay nice and dry. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, where you got one shot, one opportunity, one final look at trying to claim the glory of the season. And oh boy, it's going to be a heater coming on down to the stretch, so don't throw up and spit up your mom spaghetti.
Yeah, you got to know where you're at on.
Rap song.
Yeah.
Is it really?
That's from Eminem. Good
Wow.
job. Yeah.
M&Ms I know of are the ones that I get in my stocking at Christmas.
Oh man, catch up with the rest of us during this. Yeah, this.
What do you want from me? I don't.
No, this is starting off real good, guys. I mean, I already went off the rails. We're not even started. I'm gonna try to calm down. Y'all take the rest of the race here and try to describe the race.
Really? That's how you're going to leave it?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
how you're going to leave it?
How do I describe you? That's what I want to hear. I want to hear y'all describe what's going to happen. I'm listening. I'm trying to put my ears on right now because sometimes it's better just to listen.
Yeah, but these guys just got done tackling the qualifying session here. We had about 4 drivers that did not make a qualifying lap. I'm not sure if that was because they were told not to because of a penalty, or they just made it in late, or what. But looks like pace car's setting up down there on the pit lane, and we're getting ready to grid our field here of 26 drivers.
And that indeed we are, as we send it on down and start to show everybody where their favorite driver is going to be starting here tonight. We're going to have the silent assassin, the 88 of Mike Adamson, sitting on pole position. He's going to have his friend and teammate there, Albert Anderson, in the 99 machine, starting to his outside there in second. Third will be the 05 of Mr. PJ Cox with a good starting spot here. He's going to have the 2 of Mr. Scott Milner starting to his outside there in fourth. The Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, in the 33 machine. He's got special paint for us here this evening, getting things started inside that top 5. He's got the 32 of Mr. Nick Biddy, looking to pick up another good win here at these super speedways and start there in 6th. 7th is going to be the Mac Daddy himself, the 45 Mr. Mark Collins, starting in 7th. The 51 of Chris Klein to his outside, starting in 8th. 315 of Zach the Hack Millett, getting things started here tonight in 9th, with the 17 of Tate Cawthorn running out your field, starting top 10.
I'm with Josh Kelleher. He says forget Labor Day. It's National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. That's a very important thing for everybody to remember. Don't forget to give to your favorite childhood cancer charities, such as St. Jude or whichever one you prefer there. The 9 machine, Thomas Welch, starting in 11th. Outside row number 6, Brian Boyd in the 78. The 1 of Derek Welch will start in 13th place. To his right will be Joe David in the 6th machine. Tristan Cotton, Trister in the 7th, starting in 15th place. Outside row number 8, Joe Hoggard in the 64. Making up row number 9, the 00 of Joe Bennett and the 5 of Anthony Williams. Skylar Harrod in the 48 and the 53 of Kevin Delia make up row number 10 and round out your top 20.
13, Jonathan Hammond. 21st, 22nd, the 44 of Dana Shepard. 66, Drew Blaze. 23rd, 41 of Chris Cones. 24th, Stephen Wood in the 19, 25th, and 005, AJ Evangelista in 26th. And that could be in a different kind of order just because of EOLs and penalties from the last race or whatever. But nonetheless, they're not in bad shape back there in the back of the pack.
And that is your starting field here tonight from Daytona, as the pace car guides all these drivers on around, and we get locked on in. We thank you all so very much for tuning in and watching. We ask that if you enjoy any of this stuff, be sure to hit that subscribe and ring that notification bell buttons, so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, hit that thumbs up button as well, so that way we can continue to grow our great racing community.
Yeah.
Looks
You're
like
a
Team
bunch.
All Star has the front row all tied up there.
Now, I don't know what it looks like for you guys, but it looks like, I don't know if the Silent Assassin purposely went with like a Batman theme all darked out, or if his chrome mapping didn't quite take.
Kind of looks.
It's
just blacked out to
definitely
me.
subdued.
Yeah, it's like one of them highway patrol on the side of the road that
Yeah,
you can't tell what's happening.
You have to be kind of up close to see it. Here comes the green.
Either way, pace car is down and in, which means it's time to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight with the 99 and the 88, getting things going side by side. Everybody starting to jockey for position already as both lanes looking recent, or at least decently well gathered on up. The 88 though on that bottom line with a good push from the 05, able to get out to the front, his nose just in front of the action here. And he's gonna have a little bit of a problem if he wants to cut back on down, as that 05 is starting to make a run on that bottom line here once again, but he's got his teammate the 99 of Anderson pushing him here. You got the 45 of the Mac Daddy Mark Collins working well on that bottom side. Same thing with the 315 of Zach Millett. The 9 of Tommy Welsh sticking his nose down to that bottom line here, as well as the 32 and the 2 stick together up on the outside lane. You've got the 1 of DW trying to bob and weave his way up through this field as the field comes on down through and across the line, back down into turns 1 and 2, completing lap number 1.
yeah. Wanted to mention all of our chatters over there in the YouTube chat. Vincent Short is out there tonight saying good luck tonight, fellas. Go HBR. Paul Ferniani saying let's go with Plus EV. Running the Colt 45 AAA Broadcasting Chevrolet paint scheme tonight. We're doing that there, buddy. Puppet Master. And I need to share the beer. I tell you what, if y'all stop by the brewery, I'll give you some free beer. That's not a problem. I'll just
will?
let me know when you're coming in town. Sure.
Well, you're 1 beer for the price of 2, Adam.
Oh, that
Well-
sounds like a real deal.
Adam would never abuse it. He would never come down there with his growlers and say, "Here for my free beers." He would never do that. But
Yeah, that's
Tristan-
exactly what I do.
Tristan Cotton's here. Josh Kelleher is here, as we mentioned. Let's see. Who else we got? Katie Klein is here. Well, saying we got about 5 laps on a fuel run here. Let's see. Patrick Swales here. Let's go the 005 of AJ Evangelista. Don't suck tonight out there, AJ.
That's always, like good advice. Don't suck.
Yeah, don't suck. Yeah, that's very motivational. It's like saying, don't be an idiot.
What happened to Paul the Gambler, Ferdiani, and that beautiful Colt 45 machine with Lando Calrissian on it? He's kind of out there on no man's land by himself. Did he start from the pits?
I've got to see this car. Does
Look
it
at the
really
back end of it.
go on?
Yeah. It's got Billy D. Williams on it.
I think he may have started from the pits. He's currently, I believe, technically still on the lead lap, but he is definitely well out of the pace. As oh man, it's a absolute kerfuffle up here, up at the front. You got Mark Collins, PJ Cox battling side by side. The 1 and the 315 going side by side. It's 2 wide, about 5 rows deep here, as everybody continues to bounce around and try to find their teammate, try to find that tag team partner to make their run up here towards the front.
I hate to keep beating it to death, but it does have Billy D. Williams on it. It says Colt 45 malt liquor. It works every time.
I think that was a real saying back in the day. It does work every time. Every once in a while, I'll go into the local convenience store and grab me one of them. It's a tasty little treat every once in a while. It's got to be ice cold though.
Yeah.
You can't
It's gotta
be
cold,
cowboy
otherwise you'll
cold.
gag, you know.
Yeah.
Ginger Parent says, made it, just raced home. Can I get a quick Shepherd update? What did I miss in the pre-show?
Nothing,
Yeah,
just
not
me
much. Yeah,
rambling,
just a whole
really.
lot. Yeah, a bunch of ranting. The 44 Dana Shepard currently in 21st position. He started in 22nd, so not a whole lot of movement just yet. Still on the lead lap, though, 2.5 seconds behind the lead.
Yeah, kind of in the middle of a little chase pack that's been forming up here, being led by the 78 of Brian Boyd. Again, kind of like that call here early. Plenty of time to be had here. Again, we're scheduled for 80 laps, possibility of more if it comes down to it down the stretch, but we're still early. Lap number 6, as looks like the front of the field starting to calm down a little bit, and of course, as I say that, they start to separate back to some 2x2.
Of course. That's what's going to happen. You say one thing, and they're going to surprise you with another. Guys,
Yeah, well, it's a long race here. 80 laps, I think that's probably almost the longest we normally see at a track like this. So you got to just take it in stride right now.
What's
were you
your
gonna say
biggest
there, English?
challenge? What's your biggest challenge here? Is it just not being able to see? You know, when you're not in the lead here and working with dirty air, or what's your biggest challenge here?
Well,
on one of these big plate tracks?
Mate, that is definitely a big one here as we jump into the gyro cam of 00 Joe Bennett, race winner last night in the Super Speedway League, and you can just see you don't get to see a whole lot, and he's not even right up on the front bumper there of the 51 of Chris Klein. Oh, as Chris Klein bumps out of line, I think the bottom line checked up there, and he didn't like it, and he wanted to get up out of the way, and now 00 Joe tucks into line behind the 17 of Tate Cawthorn. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things. Man, you're gonna get yourself a good old calf workout here unless you're all the way up at the front and just keeping that pedal down to the floorboard. Otherwise, you're lifting, you're getting back on it. It's a little bit of a calf workout.
Adam, when
Yeah.
you see these guys snaking back and forth in front of you, I mean, is that kind of a clue to you that, well, I made the right decision not being up there with them guys? Because look how much back and forth movement we're seeing up here in this lead pack. It's pretty hectic.
Well, that's where I'm super. You get stressed out behind the wheel. It's very stressful. You can hear it. You can almost feel it. If you have those extra accessories like the butt kicker and stuff, the rumble in your seat or whatever, you can almost really feel like you're in the car. But yeah, watching those guys ahead of you and seeing them get out of line a little bit, that definitely makes you a little bit nervous. I like to lay off the throttle a little bit when I start seeing that and try to go back as far as I can to try to avoid all that craziness, because at some point 2 cars will collide and there'll be a big crash. I mean, it's Daytona.
Also, welcome Haley and Friends Club Penguin to the YouTube chat. Pulling for Tristan Cotton out there. Just had Scott Milner jump down onto the apron here on the backstretch.
Again, I think it's because of all that S work that you were seeing up at the front. He not necessarily liking that, so just dropped down to the apron and said, you know what, I'll drift on back. I at least know there's a chase pack back there somewhere. If I lose that front group, which he's in danger of doing here, I think he has. I think he waited just a smidge too long to try to get back up into line and catch that air advantage. So he's going to drift his way on backwards towards the chase pack here. Meanwhile, that 7 of Tristan Cotton, speaking of the Trister, is just hanging on the back end of this front group here and trying to just make sure that 7 machine gets home nice and clean, as Paul Ferdiani, the gambler, is about ready to go 1 lap down here. Going to be 3 wide for a split second as the first couple rows get snuck on by, which he does without too much of a problem.
These guys handled that well. Even 2 wide going around Ferdiani there in 33. No problem.
Here's worth noting. I don't know how many people have actually that watch iRace. Sometimes there's people that never iRace before. So there's only one position. You can look out the windshield. You are sitting in the car. It's not like you can watch the car in third person. And you have to be sitting in the car. There's only one view when you're driving the thing.
That's
and
true.
I guess when you have your VR headset, it gives you a little bit more option to look around your car, or multiple screens helps out. But Everybody's kind of on the same playing field. You can't. It's not like a video game. You can't just watch it from the outside of the car and drive it. You have to be sitting inside of it.
Relying on a spotter too.
Yeah. Just throw that out there. I don't know. Some people might not know that.
That indeed, as it looks like the 1366 and the 005 maybe trying to separate themselves a little bit here from this chase pack. Things were getting a little squirrely back there, but everybody able to hang on to their lunch money for the time being. And it looks like, ooh, a little bit of a bobble there from the 66 machine. Kind of sends the 005 bouncing around. He's having a little bit of a problem staying tucked into line there. But again, they're really not losing too much time and ground on this main pack, mainly because they're also going 2 by 2 here up at the front. You got the 51 fighting alongside the 05 of PJ Cox. Mark Collins giving a big push to that 51, getting that top line all cleared on out. Both drivers will shuffle on down to the bottom, leaving the Welches, Tommy and Derek, working together, as well as the 6 of Joe David up on that outside lane.
Well, here's that lazy Susan effect, like you talk about. Guys getting a great run on the outside line and then dropping down to the inside. Guys like PJ Cox and that great pushing machine of Zach Millett, as well as Nick Biddy in behind him there, and Joe David. These guys have been stuck together, doing a great job on the inside line. But once the outside line got some momentum, they kind of overtook them there. So what do you do if you're one of these guys that's been running inside line all this time? Do you try to go to the outside and make another pass?
That's a good question. 99 just went below the line for a little bit. I don't know. I just want to hang out with somebody the whole time. I want to be with a teammate if I can, and just try to ride the thing out. Yeah. Because right here, this doesn't matter. We're just putting laps in. I mean, it's interesting. It's fun to watch, but in the end, this will be long forgotten by the end of this race. Just try to stay clean right here. That's about it. This early on.
Love the sound of these cars. These next-gen cars do sound great as they're running around the track here. This lead pack is still all stuck together here.
And even that chase pack starting to close up that gap here as well. And that would mean everybody is still up here in this gigantic group. Even Paul Ferdiani, who's the only person a lap down right now. Again, I believe he started in the pits. Either that or he may have had to serve a penalty. But either way, these drivers definitely putting in the work here tonight. Lap 16 at 80. And we're about 10 laps away already from seeing some pit stops.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Josh Kelleher. Says we forgot to mention it. He says everybody hit that thumbs up button for AAA Broadcasting. Thank you, sir.
That's all we ever talk about. We're always talking about smashing the button.
If you like what you see out there tonight.
Yeah, the algorithms are all messed up. They don't care for some of our stuff. So you gotta hit the buttons. That way, it can be shared by more people. More people can see it. More money for the league. More sponsors. Look at DW come down right there.
Ooh, got a little sideways push there a little bit, maybe.
Ooh, dangerous.
And things definitely starting to get a little hectic here, even though it is still early. Still some side-by-side going on up here at the front, and these drivers trying to lock her on down.
Derek doing very well with the new certified pirate peg leg that they installed for him after his
certified
accident. Yeah, it's it's a trademark thing, the new pirate peg leg. I mean, it looks just like you would think, like an old, in the old movies and stuff.
Like a wooden peg leg.
Yeah, a peg leg. That's what he drives with now. Oh, and he's doing an outstanding job.
He's doing pretty good with it then. I mean,
he's overcome a lot since his accident at work.
Well, I mean,
it's for sure.
It's kind of sad. I hope everything was OSHA compliant over there when that happened, or somebody could be in the money, so to say. Look at the 33. I don't care if he's a lap down. That is the most beautiful car I think I've seen in iRacing in a long time.
Looking.
I think he's going to be on the podium. Just put Billy D. Williams on your hood. That he is going to be on the podium at the end of this race. Watch.
So
He can just lap back.
So we got told by Daniel Poschlag, go look at the 7 car of Tristan Cotton. I guess he's got a pretty dope paint job. Well, I did not see it yet. I'm trying to cycle through here.
There's so much to look at. So many beautiful cars out there.
Oh, bunch. Folks pulling for those kids out there that have been stricken with cancer is just a terrible
Well,
thing.
Bill Gates has all the money in the world. He could solve the problem, but he doesn't want to.
He might be able to, but in the meantime,
Yeah.
we're definitely relying on people like our generous listeners to
Sure.
help out, make a donation to St. Jude, support folks like Haley out there that's still fighting. And
Wasn't Danny Thomas? Didn't he found that? Danny
Yeah.
Thomas? Great organization. The Shriners.
That indeed is field starting to break apart here a little bit with the upcoming pit stops looming over this field. Pretty much everybody all tucking back into line for some single file. However, looks like 00 Joe Bennett having an issue here and has blinked out of existence.
Uh-oh. Let's check his connection. Yeah, his quality is down to 27.
Which one is that?
4 now, 00 Joe Bennett.
Oh, that's not good for him.
And he's gone.
He is
Packet loss.
the dreaded packet loss. Wow.
Yeah. Explain to the folks out there, Adam, what packet loss
I'd love to if I knew anything about technical stuff. Basically, it means you get kicked off the interwebs while you're iRacing. That's all I know about it.
bad connection.
I mean,
guess
if he
the iRacing platform's not receiving the data that's expecting, so
he's coming back in, and if he doesn't lose too much time, he could still put some laps in here.
make up some attrition positions maybe. And yes, Tracy Cotton, you are correct. Cancer sucks.
It's a
Especially
fact.
cancer that kids get. That's
Yeah. All of it's terrible, but really with the kids is the worst because they don't. They're the innocent ones, you know. They're our future too. These kids, we gotta take care of them. Donate what you can to the child charities, especially child cancer charities. Be my opinion.
and Ronald McDonald House. We just saw that mentioned in the chat as well. That's where Tracy and them are
That's
are
a
staying at there in Dallas.
really good organization. Mm-hmm. They'll put the families up while they're doing their treatments and stuff. I think that's just and that's been going on forever. Forget about
That's
McDonald's.
many years.
McDonald's has become a kind of a woke corporation, but they have done so much for that, like the cancer, kids with cancer and stuff like that. So I have to give them a little pass, and they still make some pretty good French fries. So
Yeah, the fries are still good.
yeah, they're pretty tasty.
But
Every once in a while, I like a Big Mac.
nah.
You're a quarter pounder guy, aren't you?
I'm a give me a Whataburger patty.
Well,
kind
of
guy.
course, that's the best choice always. But if you're at McDonald's and that's all they have,
I just get my wife whatever she wants, and I'll eat something else later. I eat a bowl of Cheerios when I get home or something, or steal some of her chicken nuggets.
oh, there you go.
I'll do
Chicken
that.
nuggets.
As the field works its way around the 00 Joe Bennett, who's found his way back out onto the racetrack. Here we go, starting lap number 25. And if our inside information is correct, we should start seeing some pit stops here at pretty much any moment. Having a fantastic fuel run here. Everybody pretty much all staying inside this main group. Just a couple drivers that one or couple laps down here, and definitely looks like with how single-filed it is, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, sometimes we see like the teams communicate and they'll come in kind of like team-wise, but I get a feeling we're going to see like just a big mass exodus from the racetrack and everybody's going to be coming in.
So if these guys do stop to pit here in the next lap or two, they're still going to have to stop at least, what, 2 more times? This is going to be a 3-stop race, is it not?
All right, here comes Derek Welch. He's going to start it. He's going to pit. Now everybody else is talking about it. We'll see what happens here.
And it always takes that one person. You're always wondering, should I keep it a secret? Should I call it out? What should I do? And when one person calls it out, you can best be sure all the people that are listening, they're going to be dropping on in as well, or at least taking it under advisement here as we round out, coming out of turn number 4. And yeah, here comes the 9, the 1. Oh yeah, it's a whole group of people coming on in. Probably about half the field coming on, and it looks pretty darn good. It looks like nothing too crazy there. You got the 51 and the 315 still side by side. They're gonna have to figure out that before they get to their boxes, but otherwise, job well done. I would give that one, like a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely, Alan. Very, very clean. These guys staying out of each other's way, and that was beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this other group is going to come down together, so we would have 2 separate groups here. We'll see.
That we will. The 33 and the 00 still working together here. Looks like the 33 is going to peel on off. Same thing with the 88 and the 99. They make their way on in as here comes the pretty much everybody else as well. The 53, you got the 44, 78, the 2, the 64. Again, I think maybe they were thinking, if there was an incident there on pit road during that first time, then it should be cleared out by the time they get to it on this one. So, once again, they also did a fantastic job coming on down into the pits. So you can definitely tell people have been putting in the work, putting in the practice here.
And Alan, so far, 0 penalties on pit lane. These guys have done their homework. They've been practicing that pit entry and exit.
Well, that was perfect. I mean, you basically had one group, and then the next group come in, and everything lined itself out. But it looks like the second group is about to get lapped here.
Well, not lapped, but
well, they're going to be put behind the 8 ball here.
Oh, just
try to catch up.
Yeah, just a little bit. As here we go, some big merging action going on. As we got like a couple 4-car teams going on. We got Tommy Welch, PJ Cox, Zach Millett, and Chris Klein working well together here with DW just on the back end of that one as well. Then you got Mark Collins, Joe David, Nick Biddy, and a whole bunch of group of others as the traffic kind of merged and mingled with each other there. The 88 working with the 33 of Paul Ferdiani with the 99 in the secondary group. And then you got the 19, the 78, the 7, and looks like the 5, 44, and the 2 all working well together here as well. And I don't know what happened there to Skylar Harrod in the 48, but he had a long pit stop there and missed out on any of the draft help.
Yeah, that sucks to get out there back on your own and try to make time out here. It's really difficult when you're running 8 seconds slower than everybody else because you don't have a dancing partner out there. But yeah, man, great clean racing here so far, Adam. I mean, no yellow flags here so far. I mean, this thing could go flag to flag. I don't see what could go wrong now.
Oh wow, you just jinxed it, I think. But you're right. This happens from time to time. We'll see a super speedway race that has no incidents, no crashes, all that.
Yeah,
that was really perfectly timed how the 2 different groups went down pit road. The secondary group, I gotta look and see how far off the lead are they. Are they keeping pace right now? That's something to pay attention to.
yeah, everybody's within about 10 seconds of each other.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
Yeah, real nice.
About a quarter of a lap here, I guess.
Yeah, Double O Joe's back. He's 2 laps down, so he's not totally out of contention. If we have a couple cautions, he may end up back on the lead lap. Paul Ferdiani's the other driver 1 lap down.
Thomas Welch continuing to lead out there in that 9 machine. PJ Cox right there with him. This second group is the one that I think has got the most action going on right now, led by Joe David. It's pretty hectic though, isn't it, Adam? I mean,
Yeah, 53 just got out of line. And
those transitions is what's doing that.
Yeah, it's just causing that little bit of a bobble, and you know we've seen it a couple of times now, especially in these next gen Harbor Freight cars. They just don't seem to have the same amount of downforce as the Gen 6 or like especially the trucks have an enormous amount of downforce hitting their back spoilers and whatnot. But these cars tend to move around a whole bunch.
yeah, I don't know what it is about the cars. But next year or next season, they're going to go to the Xfinity. I think we just talked about.
Yeah, kind of like an in between. So, it's a 41 getting a lucky contact there with the 17. Both bumpers weren't lined up, but they eventually got lined up just as the hit was happening. So thankfully, nothing happening there. But yeah, it's just kind of like an in between season. So we'll see the trucks in action on the Tuesday night, which our good friends over there at Holler Boys Racing TV is going to have, and we will be still here on Monday nights with the series going on.
The Xfinity cars, I will say this about them, they're harder to drive, and some of these little contact incidents you're seeing out there on the track right now, if this were Xfinity cars, there probably would have been a wreck there. There might not have been an opportunity to recover there.
Well, here we go. 18, 19, and 20. You got Tristan Cotton, Brian Boyd, Stephen Wood in the Fight Childhood Cancer cars, Haley Strong cars. That's what I'm talking about. Those are good-looking cars, and that's kind of what we're talking about tonight. Is the fight against childhood cancer. That says "fight like a kid" on the hood. That's pretty awesome.
Inspiring words there.
And they're fighting on the track right now.
Fight like Haley.
Heck yeah.
I can't help but see this transition every time they like go up into turn number 3, and it's just
bringing back bad memories for you.
even when they come out of turn 2 onto the backstretch, you see it also, the shuffle, the side to side movement, and that dirty air really affecting the grip on the front end of these cars.
19 just got out of it.
Oof, man. We're watching here the 13 of Jonathan Hammond kind of behind in this second pack here, and you can just see him just get off that throttle. He can see all the craziness happening in front of him, and he just wants to be no part of it right now.
Jonathan and the Hooters machine, they're just trying to take care of that thing. You don't want to scratch that hood up.
Oh, no. That's a nice...
Hey, Becky Lynn will get upset that you messed up her face.
That's pretty good. All right.
Yeah, but
Let's see what else is happening out here on the track. There's so much going on. It's kind of hard at times to keep up with it, Brown.
yeah, well, most of it happening here in this second pack. Up at the front, PJ Cox with Zach Millett, Chris Klein, and DW, and Tommy Walsh still working well together. And then after that, it's like about a 4.5 second gap that's starting to inch its way back on down. You got Chris Gones leading this secondary pack. Drew Blaze, Mike Adamson, Kevin Delia in here as well. And then you got the third chase pack going on, the chase pack of the chase pack. That's got Brian Boyd, Tristan Cotton, Anthony Williams, Damon Shepard, Stephen Wood, and Scott Milner all involved in it. But most of the side-by-side action that we've been seeing has been here in this this middle pack.
Yeah, this middle pack, Nick Biddy trying to lead that outside line, make something happen there. He's got a couple of cars with him, but they're just not really going anywhere. I mean, how long do you keep at it before you give in and try to find a gap to jump down? I know that if these guys got all in one line, they may end up going a little faster. They may catch the front pack, but that's kind of a long shot at this point.
Well, 53 just got into the Delia, got into the back of, what is that, Adamson? Kind of turned him a little bit, slowed him down, gave Biddy a little bit of a run with his crew up top. But, yeah, but still, now look at them. They're fading back again now. I guess you need a bunch of cars up top to keep it together. 3 cars does not look like it's going to do it.
And you need to side draft, and you got to stay tight, and it's extremely difficult to do here at Daytona. It's a little, Talladega might be a little friendlier for that outside line than it is here at Talladega. Nick Biddy gives it up. He comes on down into that low line. Still got the 45 stuck out there. That is, who's the driver? It's Mark Collins. Matt stuck out there on the outside.
Ooh, Yahtzee.
Alan, let's see if these guys can get this middle pack good and organized. It looks like they're on their way.
They're starting to. That's definitely for sure. 41 Chris Goins again continuing to lead, and yeah, it looks like they finally did pretty much get everybody back down into line. 45 of Collins being the only one left out there, but he tucks into line here. Then in this third chase pack, they've been pretty much single file the entire time. So now let's see how much time they can try to get back here on Zach Millett and company, because they're also having some fighting going on up here. You got the 00 Joe Bennett, couple laps down now, trying to stay inside this draft. Same thing with the 48, Mr. Skylar Herod there as well, going 1 lap down. The 9 is inside this group as well as the 05 of PJ Cox, but it looks like for the most part everything all settling on down to some single file racing action. As so, the 315 bobbing and weaving says, no, Chris Klein, you got to run. I'm not going to let you get up here. And he jumps up to the front lane.
And congratulations to everybody who's made it this far, sticking with us here as we're now past the halfway point here at Daytona International Speedway. The Next Gen Series, Cup Car Series of Numb Thumbs Racing League. If you want to join in some of the racing action over there at Numb Thumbs Racing League, go check them out. Numb Thumbs Gaming. You can just type it into Google. It'll take you right to them. Great gaming community. They got an awesome Discord channel. The guys over there, all the admins, doing a great job. It's a very, very tight-knit community over there. The guys really help each other out quite a bit. Whether you're into iRacing or American Truck Simulator or Farm Sim, or they do all kinds of stuff over there. Star Citizen. I don't know if the DayZ server's up anymore. I know they were kind of trying to pick and choose what the guys were most interested in. But whatever you do, whatever kind of gaming you do, there's something for you over there. Golf League, I think you're involved in that still.
I need to,
Alan.
I need to get back to it.
So
Been
golf,
slacking.
and I think they're doing a MLB The Show league as well.
And Madden, I think, because Madden just
they doing
recently,
Madden too?
yeah, Madden just recently came back out. So
awesome.
they got that going on. But while we got the little break in the action here, everybody all single filed out, and We're about 10 laps away from seeing our next round of pit stops here. Let's go ahead and take a quick step aside and have a good chat with some of our friendly sponsors, and when we return, should be right about time for some pit stops. So we'll be right on back. And welcome back, where we're gonna start seeing pit party time, and we also had that secondary group catch up to the lead group, so it's been helter-skelter for a little bit of a while here as well, but we're just a couple laps away from seeing the next round of pit stops, and then from there it's gonna be a fuel drag race to the end. Who can save the most, or will everybody still have to come down and take a little bit of extra fuel as well? It's gonna be close, I'll tell you that. I wouldn't want to be the person leading any of these packs. That's definitely for certain. As a 315 of Zach Millett guys this front group on around Chris Goins, Drew Blaze, Kevin Delia, and Chris Klein. Inside of this top 5, DW, you got Mike Adamson, Nick Biddy, Mark Collins, and Tate Cawthorn still up inside that top 10 as well. In the chase pack, you got Anthony Williams leading that thing around, 99, Albert Anderson, 2, Scott Milner, Brian Boyd, Dana Shepard, Stephen Wood, and Tristan Cotton all working well together here as Millett comes back down across the line, and I expect to hear DW piping up on that radio any second now.
Drew Blaze just called it out for PJ Cox. We'll see who all takes it the pit on this lap here. It looks like we'll probably do the same thing, maybe half and half again.
Well, look, even if they stop here, is one caution later on, like before the end of regulation, is that going to be enough to get these guys to the end? I don't think it will be.
All right, so here they come. 315 is going to lead the charge on down, and definitely not as many as we saw on that first go around. I think people kind of starting to do the math. These people coming in here at the end of lap 52 are about 2 laps short on the fuel, I think. So I think these guys who are staying out are trying to get that number at least down to 1, where they can at least save a little bit of it. The 51 Chris Klein inheriting that lead. He's going to have the 53 of Kevin Delia there alongside him. So we'll see how this field starts to figure things on out, as they're kind of stuck side by side here.
Here comes the next group. They're all nose to tail here. All of them have announced. Here they come.
And they come, the scatter shot down into the pits. Oh, and there is some contact side by side. 3 wide, 4 wide coming down into the pits. How they didn't wreck, I do not know. Goodness gracious, it looks like the 45 Mark Collins there was about to get spun a boot, but he was able to keep it all rock and steady.
Tommy Welch missed his pit stop, had to back up, but so far, it looks like no penalties for speeding on the pit lane.
And now you got the final group of Anthony Williams, Scott Milner, Brian Boyd, Dan Shepard, and Stephen Wood still working well together here. And if I'm going to point out a winner, I think it might be one of these guys for pitting for how late that they are. Actually, are they? No, the 5 making the wasn't late, but a little bit more of a delayed reaction to come on down into the pits. But I think these guys have the best shot fuel strategy wise of making it to the end, and even still it's going to take a little bit of fuel strategery to get there. Meanwhile, back out on the track, you got the 315, the 66, and the 41 working well together here, trying to stay out in front of the rest of the pack. And people having problems coming out of their pit stall there. You got Joe David, PJ Cox working together, but they're also going to have some help from Chris Klein, Kevin Delia, Mike Adamson, Joe Hogger, DW, and Nick Biddy just off the tail end of that, just out of the draft. He's going to have to wait until Jonathan Hammond and his little group of companions comes up behind him.
Yeah, Nick Biddy, one of those only cars I see out there kind of running by themselves. Everybody else pretty much got a dancing partner, at least one, if not 5 or 6 here, as we see in some of these groups.
Yeah, it's interesting how everybody completed their pit stops, and there could definitely be some strategery, like you said, Brown, going on, especially with Anthony Williams and in that little group, that may be the smart play here since we have not seen a caution. Now, if we do get a caution, that's going to change everything. But so far, this has been a super clean Daytona race.
I don't think we'll see a caution now. I mean, these guys have raced so clean and minimal contact out there. I don't think we're going to see a caution out there tonight. And not only that, but the field is so spread out now. There's less chance of having a big pile up or something go on.
Yeah, that's true. But you never know. The iRacing gods, they always try to rain on our parade sometimes. But everybody's single filed out throughout the field, spread out. It's almost like a Vegas race at this point.
Daniel Poachlock saying it would be amazing to have a childhood cancer themed car take the W tonight.
I agree.
That would be a great thing.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it happen. Who do we have to take out? Derek Welch has tried to give somebody a bump. I think there was a slowdown in front of him.
I think that's Mike Adamson that's right in front of him there in the 88 machine.
A ghost car. You can't tell who he is.
Yeah, I mean he is a Florida State fan, so if something happens to his car, I didn't see it.
Well, I mean, they just destroyed the Tigers.
I mean the Tigers. I don't know what happened there, man.
They got destroyed. Is what happened.
They couldn't stay out of their own way, man. Just receivers dropping balls and coaches
probably
not taking points when they should, and
probably for the best,
Probably so.
Sometimes the king has to fall,
Sure. Well, we're not Bama by any means, but a number 5 team should play a hell of a lot better than that.
In the meantime, we've got some pace line work happening here up at the front between Blaze Gones and Millet. Looks like Millet doing his part, trying to guide these guys around for a couple laps. Now drifting back to the back of this little group, and now it's going to be Drew Blaze's turn to use up some of that fuel to drag these guys around.
They know what time it is, don't they? There's a reason they're 3 seconds ahead of everybody else. They're just sitting there rotating around, seeing who needs to save some fuel. All right, you jump in behind. I'll take the lead for a minute.
It's sharing is caring.
Sure.
Helping each other out. I mean, that's probably very smart to do. I've raced with a bunch of guys that they would never do that. They just want to hold their spot.
Bunch of hosers.
Yeah, the guys that just, I'll help you out here. Well, never mind. You didn't do what I wanted you to do, so I left you in the dust.
Yeah.
Or, don't worry, I'll let you by. You're running a little quicker than me, and then shoves you up into the outside wall of turn 2 at Pocono.
That happens and happened.
No,
you always have to open the wound.
I dive bombed him. I didn't let him around. I dive bombed him.
Yeah, I was in front of him.
That's what I'm saying. You were saying to English, just come on around.
Like,
and
come on. If you want to come around, go ahead, but don't door me in turn 2 at Pocono, and he did.
I ran out of talent, man. What can I say?
Yeah, that's true.
I slid up the track. I didn't do
Running out of talent for years.
The struggle continues.
Do we have any Canadians in here tonight? No, we don't. Okay, so I don't have to talk about kilometers or anything, so that's good.
No.
Actually, speaking of which, I was talking to another Discord group I'm a part of, and they were discussing that there's some people streaming on the streaming service like Twitch where you can watch that S4 guy, our own Zach Millet, out there and watch his in-car perspective of tonight's race. But they were streaming kind of like him, but they had everything in kilometers because they're not American. They're from all over the world, and his hot take was only people from America should be able to race this.
That is a hot take.
I want to share all of our cool sports with the world.
I do.
I don't want to share anything with anybody. Everything needs to be on American soil We don't need to farm everything out. That's where we got in trouble.
No, but they're participating. They're assimilating. And
That's not what
taking
it's
part in our
about.
sports.
Well,
They're
that's
just
fine
changing
on
up the plumbing.
iRacing, I guess, but I don't know if you've been around town lately, but there's not much assimilation going on. This country
Ooh.
don't look like
Got the
it used to.
64 and the 53 scraping the outside wall a little bit there as we got some slicing and dicing going on in this secondary pack. And then Drew Blaze, it's got to be close. I think he's still in the draft, but doing that rotation up at the front, I think he waited just a smidge too long. And it's got to be close. I don't know if he's got that draft or not.
Oh.
0.6. I think he just barely was able to hang on. But you can also see because of that and how, it's essentially just Chris Goins and Zach Millett right now working together. You can see this secondary chase pack come right on up to him. That 3-second lead that they had, well, it's now gone. As Brian Boyd taking a trip through the infield here.
Uh-oh.
He's electing to use the service road. Let's kind of see what happened between himself and some traffic. Looks like the 17 with a firm push just caught the bumper and hooked him, and into the outside wall he went, and then down to the apron, and practicing for the Daytona 24 that's coming up here in February. Has to take a quick trip down through the infield grass.
For the most part, these guys have been great about keeping square on each other's bumpers when they're pushing and bump drafting and all that. They're doing a great job. It's been very rare that we've seen somebody get out of shape like that.
Yeah, as bad as it looked, there was still no caution. Minimal damage, I would assume. Keep rocking along.
That's what it looks like there. Seeing some of the other driver perspectives we got going on. They got their driver cameras on up. We saw 32 and Nick Biddy there, and the same thing with the 48 Skylar Herod. Doesn't have his crew chief sitting behind him here tonight, so I think that might be why he's a lap or two down. We also got the 7 of the Trister himself, Mr. Tristan Cotton, out here riding around. Trying to play catch up here, getting a good tow from some guys in front of him.
As you mentioned, we got pretty much one big pack up here in the top 10 is all together, one big old pack right now. And it's about to get interesting here, I think.
That indeed being led by that 53 of Kevin Delia. He's got the 64 Joe Hoggard sitting right behind him, and kind of an interesting note. Look how much room Joe Hoggard's leaving behind Delia here. He is in absolutely no hurry to give him a push. I think the 64 machine knows his fuel situation and just wants to be sure that he saves enough for the end.
Yeah, just work that throttle, about 3/4 throttle. That's all you really need when you're picking up a good hefty draft off of one of these cars.
Man, this is really a different Daytona than we normally see. Single file for a lot of this race, which is it's kind of strange. Is it something to do with the next gen cars, or just kind of how the race played itself out?
I think it's as many green flag laps as we've seen, and guys knowing, hey, I got to pit this lap, I'm gonna have to pit again on this lap, and they're just trying to play it safe right now. I think that the tune is going to change here when we get about 5 or so to go, maybe even a few more to go. Looks like they're already starting to go double file here.
There you go. I think you're right. There's a time to start, showing your cards and holding your cards. As now, let's put it out on the table here.
And that indeed is. Here we go, starting to line it up. Side by side they go, with the 51 of Chris Klein launching himself up to the front. You can even still see there the 33 of Paul Ferdiani not getting any luck by the cautions tonight. As we got some side-by-side contact and some bumper to bumper contact there with the 53 and the excuse me, the 51.
3 wide.
Oh, we're 3 wide.
wide.
Oh, they're still going up against the outside wall. No yellow yet, and there it is. The 005 getting all turned around by the 9 machine.
And that was the secondary incident from all the slowdown in front of them.
Thomas
Wow.
Welch, AJ Evangelista.
I think they were
Getting
the
up against
only
the outside wall there.
2 involved in that, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
But they went slow enough, and one car was facing backwards, and there was cars coming. So they were in the racing circle.
Well, the checkup caused the 3 wide with AJ.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So strategy-wise, everybody's strategy out the window now, isn't it?
Oh, I
Flash
don't,
and go.
yeah, I don't doubt we're gonna see a whole line of people doing some splash and goes here.
Because you got to
Yeah.
prepare now, right, Adam? I mean, cautions breeding cautions. You got to start calculating now that we might get 1, 2, or 3 green-white checkers here. You got to plan for that as far as fuel goes.
I want to get fuel. I think everybody's going to get
Top
fuel
it
now.
off.
The only people that might not would be, well, what was that group with Williams in the 5 and the guys that were with him? They may not. I don't know.
Maybe.
Probably smart to go ahead.
It was only a couple laps difference. I think they'll probably come too.
Yeah, probably smart to do that. Man, of all the things that we see here, that was just a minor incident, and that's all we've had all night, pretty much. So that's interesting for a Daytona race. All right, well, we got some takers, but we have some people that aren't taken.
Yeah, that we do. I guess Chris Klein, Kevin Delia, Joe Hoggart, a whole bunch of people feeling pretty comfortable in their, well, I can't say comfortable, but at least confident in their fuel right now.
I don't know. I think it's worth trying to gamble, maybe, but I don't know. If you get another yellow, you're going to be hurting for certain. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you, Daniel. Daniel said pretty damn clean racing out there here tonight. Yeah, that was the first incident at all that we've seen here tonight. We've seen some guys get a little bit sideways from getting bumped on the corner and stuff like that. They were able to save it or go through the grass and rejoin, and it's just been great racing out here tonight. So far, the only the one caution.
Still,
Yeah, well, it's been impressive. I think we're just looking forward to this one, and then next week we have one more for the championship. That's going to be a fun one in Atlanta. Looking forward to that.
And it's old Atlanta, right? So I mean, these guys are going back to old
That's-
school, rough,
That's-
abrasive,
Well,
track
that's what
surface
you
that'll
keep
beat the
saying.
hell out of it. It's like going
don't-
down I-20 through Shreveport.
Are the
Just-
bullets flying too,
hell out.
or is it just
I
racing?
don't know.
It could be both. Atlanta's
It could be.
kind of a rough town.
Yeah, hot Atlanta.
I don't know. I haven't seen where officially that's the old, and y'all just keep telling me it's old Atlanta. I
It
don't
was
know.
on the schedule. I had to go back and
Right.
look at it again. I'll send it to you.
Oh, I saw the schedule. It never said anything on my schedule. Well, DW could always clear that up.
Yeah, I'll look at it later.
I heard him complaining about something. I think he's in pain again. I know you were.
Does he have termites in his new leg or what? What's
I
going on?
do. I knew. I'd leave it to you to
I'm sorry.
just enjoy his suffering. I feel bad
I'm
for
not.
DW. He was run over by a gigantic forklift, and you you have just
I've
turned
not-
it into
I'm
like
not-
a charade.
No, come on now.
Look at you.
I take no pleasure in anyone's suffering.
I hope he gets paid off the deal. You know, if I was me,
I hope he does too. I hope
I'd
he
be suing
shares,
everybody.
buys us
But-
some beer. You know?
Yeah, maybe like bumps up our pay. It gives us like extra beer
Hey,
money on the side. You know,
guys want some free Elsinore? You know?
Yeah.
We can do-
we need
that's
some
so
free
good.
Elsinores over here.
Yeah.
Ah, double double file now. I think since we're lined up this way, we got 8 laps to go when we hit the stripe. 9 laps.
It'll be
This is
10
good.
laps to go when we go, or
Oh,
yeah,
well.
9 laps to go once we go green.
I'm good at math, but it's going to be awesome. This is where it's at right here.
Great job, Professor.
I'm just a genius over here with the math skills. I love it when Brown corrects us. Yeah, he's running the mothership up there. He has all the tools and brain power. The 2 idiots are down here
Don't have anything
on the
better
south
to
part of
do.
the.
All you gotta do is do a simple subtraction, and you can't even do that.
Well, I don't want to. I also want to say I'm thinking of Jimmy Buffett still today.
Me too,
Man,
man. Skin
awesome.
cancer is
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
crazy.
another cancer. Got him. So
You gotta watch those irregular borders on those moles and stuff, man. Pace car's coming on down.
And that indeed it is. So here we go, coming on down to go time as the green flag comes back on out, and we go racing once again here from Daytona. The 51 in the 53 guiding things on around. 51 getting a huge jump there. 53 jumping on down to the bottom. He had a good push from the 6 machine of Joe Davis. 64 Joe Hoggard running well up here as well. You got the 88 Mike Adams still hanging around up there as well. 32 Nick Biddy trying to figure out his way up through this madness. But once again, we finally get pretty much everybody all in the same group. You got Brian Boyd and 00 Joe Bennett. Some of your only people a lap down right now. So Paul Ferdiani is now officially back on the lead lap. Same thing with Skylar Harrod.
well, it looks like a free for all at this point. Everybody's starting to kind of let loose.
Jesse Biddy out there pulling for the 32, saying, "Come on, babe, make it happen." It's a tinderbox out there right now. Just waiting to get lit up. Look at this pack of cars up here. This is intense here.
It even looks like we might be going 3 wide here. Anthony Williams is kind of stuck there on the outside lane as the 13, the 315, and the 66 try to make their way on down. Ooh, the 13 squeezes his way down to the bottom side. I'm sure Scott Milner's writing that one in his notebook.
Joe Bennett tried to squeeze one in there, and I'll tell you what, Ferdiani did make a squeeze play through AJ Evangelista, and now he's up a couple spots. I don't think that's the end of this 3 wide stuff here.
53 of Kevin Dilly has got a fan out there. Daniel Poachlock saying, "Come on, number 53." Kevin's got his hands full up front.
We'll check up here, but be careful.
Yeah, that indeed, as everybody all fighting for position here. 53 tucked into line behind that 51 of Chris Klein, trying to make a run, maybe bounce out to the outside lane where the 6 of Joe David is giving a good fight, but he's also getting some good help there from the 45 of Mark Collins. But don't you sleep on that 64 of Joe Hoggard either. He's been fighting pretty well up here as well.
It's like I-35 south of San Marcos.
It does.
As you're rolling into.
Yeah. Beer between
Oh,
the
Rick.
legs. There you go. There's the big one. Fairly big
5
one.
of Anthony Williams.
All right, caution's out.
That's where I saw it start. I think it was right there with the 5.
Ooh, and some late contact there, and the 5 loosened it there. Go ahead and kind of watch what happened, and yeah, it was just an absolute kerfuffle. Just bumpers not lining up there with Millet in the 5. Just gets up and snags the back bumper of the 5 machine just a little bit. Squeezes on down, the 2 getting snagged up. 315, the 41 getting involved in it as well. As 41 for the most part able to drive out of it. The 2, whoo! 33 of Ferdiani getting snagged up in it there, as well as looks like the 2 launching his way on down the racetrack, trying to oh yeah, the 33 was having issues of his own.
Yeah, and the 5 got hit on the back end of the straightaway as well. He got double the damage on this one.
Oh yeah, as people try to get back up to on the track, they end up coming up together. And it looks like the 2, and I think maybe Albert Anderson, and that sends the 5 around again. For the most part, though, minimal damage for most of those drivers. Really no hard wall impacts that we've come to see from some of these big ones.
And the reason for that, Alan, we got so much runoff area here at Daytona. This track has been around for so long, and there's been so many wrecks on that back stretch. And you got the road course area, the bus stop area, and stuff when they do have road course races here. So there's a ton of runoff area. So if you do get loose there, get spun around, there's a ton of room between that outside wall and the inside retaining wall down there, way on down. That's probably, what is that? That's probably 150 yards.
Oh, at least a couple
From
hundred
wall to
yards.
wall, yeah.
Well, I'm just upset that 33, Paul Ferdiani, the gambler. How did you hurt Billy D. Williams' face on that car? Be careful with that. That paint scheme was amazing. Surprised the force field wasn't around that car. And it's AAA Broadcasting sponsored as well.
Yes.
Well, we didn't pay him anything, but still. It's on
Ada
the
Smith,
car.
thank you for joining us, Ada Smith. Pulling it for Nick Biddy in the 32 out there. Georgia native. I think they live down there where old Awesome Bill's from, I believe, Dawsonville.
Yeah. You will hit the siren, you know.
Yeah,
Isn't that what happens?
yeah. I think they do it when his boy wins now. His boy Chase, when he wins, they the pool hall down there runs the siren. That's what they call it down there.
Oh, it's siren.
Yeah.
Is that like pecan and pecan?
Yeah, you say it different where you at.
Oh, I say pecan. I don't know what you say.
I say throw it
like
in the
fun.
trash.
You don't like it?
No.
What the hell is wrong with you? You allergic or
It's
something?
like eating an acorn.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
God, this guy here. That was funny though. I mean, it's kind of it
You need some
resembles.
pralines. You need some pecan praline. It'll change
That's
your
too
life.
sweet. That's too sweet.
No. Okay,
Man, I
pecan
can
pie.
barely.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
no, I'll deal with that.
sweet.
Them pralines are sweet. I could take a few of them, but I don't know how people eat them by the bucket load or anything.
There's a place in San Antonio makes some really chewy things. You know, the pecan chews.
Yeah,
They got the pralines, and then that are kind of flat and wide, and then they got the chew ones that are real kind of. They're almost like a ball. They're
kind
real
of gummy.
tight, real gummy, and they're hard to eat. But golly,
It's
talk
like
about
the
good.
fruitcake place in Corsicana. You know, you ever been to that place? What's the
No.
deal with the fruitcake? I never understood the whole
All
thing.
I know is there's a mattress factory right there in Corsicana. When I drive
There
through
is. You know who's from Corsicana?
Yes,
Billy Joe Shaver,
Billy Joe Shaver. I know.
and so is Lefty Frizzell.
When I was doing your family research, remember that?
Yeah, I got some people down there. They're from Corsicana, Texas. Oh, that's pretty interesting, Corsicana. That's just a little bit south of Dallas there on 45.
That's right. That is on 45. Because I was going down 31 through there, but I go side to side, not up and down.
That doesn't make any sense. It's usually north, south, east, west. But
I go
if you're from
east west.
Louisiana, it's like y'all always say,
Go
"Hey,
up, down.
I'll see you Wednesday or Tuesday."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there in 5 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I
it's
go.
always backwards with y'all. Oh man, I know what's not backwards. This race. This is about to be. Would this be like a fake green white checker here, Brown?
Unofficial, yeah.
Yeah.
This'll be-
Unofficial green-white checker finish here. Just a refreshment of the rules. We'll go bace to the green flag once the pace car gets out of the dang way. And then we'll race around. If the leader crosses that line, takes the white flag, well, that's going to be it. It's going to be all helter-skelter. Run it on out. But if the yellow flag comes out before, at any point, Then we re-rack and stack it once again. So here we go. The 53 and the 51 all side by side with the 64 and the 88 right there behind them as the pace car comes on down into pit lane, into the Geico restart zone we go, and here we go. Cross the line, green, white checker racing here from Daytona. Great start there for the 51 of Chris Klein. The 53 of Delia is going to tuck back down into line behind that 51 machine as we're already going 3 wide here.
Oh no! The 41's Chris Gones, big wreck back there.
And that means we'll go into bonus time.
That didn't take
It looked like the 44 got into the quarter panel there. The 41 sending him on around, and other than a little bit of accordion action, really just the 41 getting all spun about from it.
I said big wreck. It was a big wreck, but just for the 41, it was a big wreck.
Well, I'll tell you what, Albert Anderson kind of talked about his displeasure with Jonathan Hammond in the 13. He said that was a crazy move there, pal. 3 wide before that crash, in front of the crash.
Hey, look.
Ooh, that was tight.
We've known Albert a long time, and I love the man to death, but I've seen Albert make some moves like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, it worked out. I mean, I think he was just letting him know, hey, I saw you there.
Sure, yeah.
That
You
was
got to do that.
that was interesting.
Oh, mercy. I'm going to hear about that probably from him. He's going to send me a message. What the
No,
hell?
yeah, he does listen to
hell,
all
man?
he actually listens to all the words we say, and if we call him out a little bit, he'll get in our face and
Oh, yeah.
he'll be like, "What are you talking about? I wasn't trying that." But no, we love Albert Anderson, America's driver. We've been here a long time with us. AAA broadcasting. We've been in numerous series he's in. He's just a fun guy, good driver, and hey, he loves these plate tracks. He's in 8th right now. He's still got a shot at it.
Ada Smith out there saying if the 32 gets on the podium, I'll buy the whole family dinner.
Ooh,
And Jesse says, bet.
where are we headed?
Ginger Parent says, aren't we all one big racing family? Oh, it sounds like I might be getting some free chicken fried steak or something. I don't know.
Yeah, where are we
going?
going for this meal? We may have to rig this thing if we're all getting a free meal out of it.
Chicken and dumplings from Cracker Barrel or something? Where are we?
Oh, I don't want that.
I'd rather have a chicken fried steak from Mavericks down off of Highway 181 south of Lavernia, Texas, if we're going to pick a joint.
Well, I mean, sure, if we want to pick a place. That's very specific in Lavernia. I'm interested where they're going to go. I don't.
They said we all one big family, so I thought we were going to meet somewhere. I was just making a suggestion where to meet.
Everybody flying to Lavernia. They got the huge airport.
Well, they ain't no
there.
airstrip.
Yeah. We'll meet in Lavernia. Man, that was a good one. Yeah.
Oh, only the 32 and his 3 children and wife. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. We don't.
Wait, let us know what y'all have.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, we just want to live vicariously through y'all. I hope it's like chicken fried steak or something.
I said they ain't rich. Only work in the school system.
Oh, that's
I
what
got you.
Labor Day is about. It's about you, the regular worker. It's about us.
I labored a little bit today.
Yeah, you did. Even on the day that the elites gave you off and you had to go to work. Interesting.
My boss
maybe
told me
they. Huh?
My boss told me today, hey, you need to take some time off. I said, I just had 2 days off. He said, you were here yesterday. And I looked up and I was like, you know what? You're right. I was here half a day yesterday.
The lines
I had a
get
day and a
blurred.
half.
You go
Yeah,
in there and you drink beer.
Yeah, you
some
don't know if
days,
you're
and
working or not. Yeah.
yeah, that's how they keep their employees happy. Give you a couple cold beers.
Oh, Mexican food margaritas. I'm there.
All right, that's not a bad idea right there.
Hey. Now it's a party. Want some cheese enchiladas with chili con carne on top?
Oh, you got to put the
Raw
fresh onions on top.
Yeah, raw onions on top. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, okay. I got excited when you said cheese
I
enchiladas.
passed the test.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. I like to dice up some fresh jalapenos as well too, and this
Oh,
a little bit.
that would work right there.
Yeah, not them
Alan,
pickled ones.
We about ready to get this thing cranked back up. You think for the last time, or
I don't know. We got 3 attempts at it here, as we get everybody all lined back on up with the side by side. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, we're already in bonus time, so everyone's getting their money's worth here tonight.
and everybody's getting their gas mileage checked right now as well.
Yeah,
Murphy, tell us where and when. I love to eat.
the food review. Yeah, we could tell you. I got all kinds of places. You just need to know what your specific one is. We kind of dabble in a little bit of everything. That's why we're going to have a podcast, right, Brown? This is really like in the test works right now.
Yeah, we're kind of
Testing some things.
workshopping it.
Yeah.
That's what
I can't scream about the government for so long. I got to come up with some real ideas.
Have some actual
Content.
substance.
That's why we have iRacing. Keeps us kind of on track, and this is what it's all about right here. Watching these guys finish this Daytona race, I'm really looking forward to the ending here.
Yeah, which is, pretty much just coming up right around a couple of corners as the pace car lights are off, and here it comes back on down into pit lane as the field sets on up side by side into the tri-oval, into that Geico restart zone they go. Green flag racing here once again for this green-white checker finish tonight from the NTRL Cup Series boys as they send it on off down into turns 1 and 2. The 51 getting another good restart here where the 53 is going to tuck back down into the line. He's going to jump the line there with the 64, leaving the 88 of Mike Adamson out on the outside. He does have some help from the 6 machine as well as the 99 of Albert Anderson making their way down the backstretch. 005 AJ Evangelista making some moves here as well. Everybody looking a little bit tame right now, but that's all about to change coming out of turn number 4.
Yeah, so if they can make it back across, this will be the end of it.
Yeah, they're right there.
And they are definitely right on. There's the 53 giving a huge shove to the 51 coming across the line. White flag is out, which means this is it. All the beating and banging has come on down to this single lap as the field rounds out of turns 1 and 2. The 53 making a big run. He's going to have the 64 follow him on up there, leaving the 51 all alone. It's going to be a scatter shot of traffic as the 32 getting involved, heading on down through the infield. Oh, and it's just continuing to happen. We're going to have about 6 cars make it on through the chaos with the 53 of Kevin Delia making it on. Oh, no, there goes the 6 machine. So once there was 6, now there is 2. Kevin Delia and Joe Hoggard making the sprint down out of turn number 4, and they're not gonna fight. It's gonna be the 53 coming across the line, picking up the race win, but a fight for third goes to America's driver of Albert Anderson.
Wow. Did somebody run out of fuel back there? What happened? He lost the draft, and that was insane.
I don't have a damn clue. I know Nick Biddy. His fans out there, Ada and Jesse and all of them, are disappointed to see him get wrecked out there at the end. But man, alive, he wasn't the only one. We had a bunch of folks go around.
That was crazy, and I was with Albert. I was watching Albert the whole time, and he just rode the thing out. Everything happened in front of him. To get a third, that was amazing for him. But I'm really curious what happened up front there. It almost looked like the fuel.
Well, no, so the 51 lost all his draft help as the 53 and the 64 went around him. So that caused him to, drop at least 5 or 6 miles an hour immediately. So the 32, recognizing it, jumps up to the middle, and then the squeeze play happens. 51 trying to kind of join / get some of that momentum back, shoves the 32 up into the 88. 88 and the 32 and the 51 go for the wild ride And then man, there's just so much that happened here.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
That's a lot of time.
There was
It's hard to go back too because you're trying to stay with the leader there, Brown, and see what's happening at the front. But man, that ruined a lot of people's races right there.
And then there was like secondary stuff coming out of 4. Ah, man, it was just so much chaos. You can see bits and pieces flopping all over the place. But yeah. Goodness gracious.
Jesse Biddy says the 32 still gonna get a treat at the house from her.
Surprised. Okay.
Yeah. Be nice if it was a chicken fried steak, but
I know that's all you're thinking about right now.
wow, I got a one track mind. I'm telling you.
You like that white gravy though, don't you? That you like it a little spicy though, don't you?
A little bit, yeah. Don't put.
I like
whole
to
bunch
mix
on
in
it.
a
Good
little
chicken
bit of
fried steak, You
Louisiana.
don't need to smear it on there.
No, just a little bit of Louisiana hot sauce too, kind of mix it in.
Okay,
You know,
I can do that.
that's how I do it.
Yeah, it's
Well,
much
that was
as
fun.
as much as there's some heartbreak. I do give a little chuckle to Ada's comment there of this is rigged.
It's rigged. It's all rigged.
Well, a lot of things in life are rigged, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just look around. So I don't know if this is actually rigged.
Every few Novembers, we come across.
There's some issues happening if you kind of do the math. Yeah, it happens. It's racing. The best driver doesn't always win, especially at Daytona. This is one
Well,
of those places.
As Ginger said, it saved all the excitement for the last lap there, and wreck on the final lap happens more often than not. So I mean, it's that's kind of to be expected here in the this pack racing that we're doing here tonight. So
And yes, indeed, as we get some of these interviews up underway. First, starting off with our third place finisher here tonight, Mr. Albert Anderson, the 99 machine, America's driver, getting a great finish here tonight and burning some rubber down, making it through all that chaos unfolding on that final lap there, Albert.
That was absolutely insane. I don't know what happened there at the end, but a bunch of cars were wrecking, and people going all over the place. Some name calling. There was all kinds of stuff going on there at the end.
well, it gets kind of intense, right? So everybody's got their opinion about what's going on the track, and all you can do is try to survive. And it looks like you survived to pick up a third place. Good job there, buddy. And you guys going to Atlanta next week to finish this thing off this season with the next gen cars. Talk about this season as a whole, the next gen car, and what you're expecting next week.
The next gen car is a handful. When you're used to racing trucks all the time, and then you make the jump over to the next gen cars, it's definitely an adjustment. The steering's different, it handles different, the car's a lot heavier. So, you got to put a lot more wheel into it for sure. Next week's going to be awesome. I like Atlanta. It's a fun track. I've got a win or two at Atlanta. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, it kind of parted in front of you there at the end. I was riding along with you, and it just everything happened kind of in front of you, went high, and just survived. And then the thing looked like it took off on you. Just made that pass for third place right there at the end. Great job. And who'd you like to give some shout outs to?
Well, first of all, I want to dedicate this podium finish to Alan English's suspenders. I love him. I'm gonna get me a pair. He's a fashion misfit, and I can't get enough of it. I'm gonna get me a pair tomorrow.
I've got some with flames, some that look like a yardstick. I've got all the novelty ones, but these ones are just to keep my pants from falling down.
Man, I mean,
we don't need that at the brewery.
You just look so comfortable. I'm sick of wearing belts, and I think I'm gonna make that switch to suspenders, man.
Past, man.
Exactly. I'm gonna make the switch. But thank everybody for coming out, and everybody who watches the races. Thanks DW and Mark and all the admins for putting the race on. DW does a hell of a job. All of the race sponsors, thank them for the money that they put into the league. And you guys can't get enough of AAA broadcasting, man. I could watch I could watch and listen to you guys on a 24-hour loop. You guys are the greatest, and I can't wait for the podcast coming up. I really appreciate you guys.
Awesome, brother. And we really appreciate you too as you get that third place finish here tonight, man. Congratulations. Go ahead, celebrate it, and we'll wish you the best of luck coming up next week at the season finale over there at Atlanta.
Real quick, my teammates, Mike Adamson, I want to thank him and Larry Dickerson, Dylan Bryant. Miss all you guys. Jeremiah Burke, Jack Dixon. See you guys next time.
As he runs off the podium there with some final shout-outs. And that's why we love Albert. He tries not to forget everybody, but his list is long. But
he's just as sick as us, I think, if he wants to listen to us that much.
Well, he's going to be angry with you this week because you.
I'm going to wear my American flag suspenders next week in honor.
There you go.
There you go. As we continue these driver interviews here, moving up another step of this podium, we head on to the second place finisher, the 64 machine, Mr. Joe Hoggard, getting a fantastic effort in that finish here tonight. It looked like you and Delia, man, once when you guys got your bumpers all hooked on up, you weren't ever going to separate.
First and foremost, shout out to everybody for putting on this childhood cancer race. I mean, honestly, the only way we're going to get enough people to be aware of it and to be able to help fund the research that they need to actually find a cure someday, it requires people being diligent and doing stuff like this. So bravo to everybody for that, honestly. And when it comes to the race, we talked about it last week after I got out of Watkins Glen. I think that was last week. Yeah, weeks are going very long, but we talked about it, and this was always going to be a team race. I mean, that's what Daytona is, and the goal was to keep our cars up front once we got up front and do everything we could to not get put in the carnage. And once I got behind Kevin, at that point the goal was to push a teammate as far as I could, and I was going to stick with him, and I was going to ride or die with him. We were either going to wreck it or we were going to hit the checkered flag. And I can honestly say I don't think I've ever been this happy for not winning a race. That was a blast. That was a great time, and honestly, execution was perfect.
Yeah, you did a great job out there. You were definitely support personnel number one MVP out there, Joe. And it was great watching you run out there in that little blue alien Mobil 1 Ford Mustang. And with hashtag Jimmy Strong on there, and as you mentioned, you know, the childhood cancer epidemic that's been plaguing the world here. Our youngsters shouldn't have to suffer like that. And anything that you know this league can do to bring awareness to it and try to get some donations going and stuff like that, it's a great thing, because I mean, you know, the government's not going to do anything about it. It's going to come down to a grassroots thing like what we got going here, and
it won't be whatever finally causes the breakthrough. It won't be one giant group. It will be small pods of people throughout the entire world that will make it happen.
There you go. Yeah, we got to stick together on that. That's for sure. Great race tonight. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
First and foremost, I got to say hi to my teammates, man. Steven, Brian, Dana, obviously Kevin. We did everything that we could to make this happen, and it worked out perfectly. Daniel for putting the team together. Worked great tonight. And then everybody for putting on tonight. It's been a good time, and hopefully we can keep this moving forward into the championship round next week.
Awesome, man. Well, great running out there. Mr. Joe Hogger, driver of the 64 machine, finding his way to the second place finish here tonight, man. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you guys back out here in action again over there, over there at the old Hot Atlanta.
You guys have a good night.
With that, we move things on along to tonight's race winner, and up 19 spots on the day to do it, Mr. Kevin Delia picking up the race win here tonight from Daytona. Man, congratulations. Was a must win to get in for you here tonight, and that is exactly what you did.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I got to thank my teammate Joe Hoggard for sticking with me at the end, and that was definitely a fuel race. I did not think I had enough fuel to the end, so I barely had enough.
We had a great team out there, but you got to give yourself enough credit here or there, Kevin. You drove that Skybox DEP Graphics Chevrolet out there. You did one hell of a job, and help or not, I mean, you drove one hell of a race, and great job picking up the win here. You got one more race to go this season. That's at Atlanta. I think we've established that it's at the old Atlanta. So it's, an abrasive track surface. It's, it's the old Atlanta. It's beat up. Have you got with your team yet on a strategy for next week? If not, are you guys going to be doing some practice laps out there this week?
I have not practiced. I have a few teammates who are very good at Atlanta, so
Okay.
I'm gonna have to try to pick up some tips from them on how to save tires and get through that race.
Well, you got through this one. First place. Great job. A lot of mayhem there at the end. You stuck through it, got around it, did your thing. Congratulations. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
First off, I want to thank everybody at NTRL for putting on this childhood cancer race. And of course, DEP Graphics for doing all my paints. The guy's the best, putting his team together. All my teammates, Joe, Dana, everybody at DEP. I know I'm forgetting a few. And Skybox, my sponsor. This is a little later in the season than I had my first win last season, but I made it count.
And that indeed you did, as the 53 Kevin Delia brings it on home for the race victory here tonight, man. Congratulations. Go ahead, go celebrate it, and good luck coming up next week over there at Atlanta there, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, with that, we do have some final words being headed our way from the commissioner, Mr. DW here, announcing our field of top 10.
Yeah. I just wanted to say congratulations to the winner tonight, Kevin. He had to win tonight to get back in the playoffs, and I guess magic struck again twice. We had the same thing happen last night, and but this is our top 10. I start from 10. I was 10th myself, but since Kevin Delia won, he knocks me out of the playoffs. So,
oh man.
Kevin Delia is going to be 10th. 9th is Chris Goins. 8th, Dana Shepard. 7th, Scott Milner. 6th is Jonathan Hammond. 5th, PJ Cox. 4th, Drew Blaze. 3rd, Thomas Welch. 2nd, Mark Collins. And 1st is going to be Joe Hoggard. It's been a great season, guys. I put this schedule together kind of to put a trap race on some of these guys, because you got guys like Millett and Hoggard and Drew Blaze. They'll dominate the entire season, and you put these trap races in there. And I really think that's what kept our field count up all season long, and it gives everybody that chance. Everybody that chance to think. Know they can possibly win a championship for themselves, even against these top-notch guys, and it's worked wonders for this field. It's worked wonders for this league, and I mean 27, 26 drivers a night, and second to last race this season.
Pretty
That's
good.
amazing. That's amazing for this
Pretty damn
league.
good.
There's going to be a shootout next week. I'm going to try to put a wrench in things myself, but and thanks guys for broadcasting. Thanks to all the guys here and racing this next gen league. It's been a great season, and I just can't wait to get out of these cars myself.
That's it. You guys aren't gonna say nothing.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
you said it all right there. English, you're supposed to pipe up
Hey,
first.
look, I was gonna tell Derek, thanks for putting on such a great clean league. I mean, we get a lot of comments from folks that say, "Hey, man, NTRL runs a pretty tight ship, and you know, they don't let guys just go off the reservation, right? Yeah, you guys hold people accountable and do a great job with race control and stuff. Even if it's after the fact, I know you guys are all racing as well, so you don't always get to attack things real time, but later on down the road, you make things right. So there's a reason there's 26 cars here tonight in the second to last race when a lot of these guys aren't even eligible for a championship, but they're still out here racing because it's fun and you guys put on a fun league. And we don't see that in a lot of other leagues. You'll have guys on some of these nights, they'll run 9 or 10 cars out there because the playoffs just started. They got 10 more races to go and they got 10 cars running around out there. But you guys are doing something right. So just want to congratulate you on the success of this league because you guys earned it.
Thank you. And me and Miami, we hate penalizing drivers. We hate it. We don't like it.
Sure.
And when it comes to the drama side of things, people cussing at each other or calling each other names or whatnot. At the end of the day, we're all here as friends. We're all here as family, racing together. We're iRacing community fan. I get that we're going to get mad at each other at times. I get mad. I don't know if you noticed last night. Me and Paul Fernandez was kind of fighting it out a little bit there. That there was a reason for that. We was doing it on the track, and I feel like, and I keep guys from going at each other because if you start cussing somebody out at the heat of the moment, that's when you're gonna lose friends. And go sit back, calm down. This is a video game. Well, Adam, I'm sorry. It's a simulator.
Adam.
It's a simulator at the end of the day. Take yourself away from it, and there's no reason to ruin friendships over this.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I'm 40 years old. I'm not gonna sit here and babysit a bunch of grown men. So, yeah, we run a top ship here, but I think so far it's worked out to the better.
No, it's fun. I mean, I do want to see just a little bit of hatred and anger, but like you said,
Sure.
after it's all said and done, let's have the, rewatch the race and see what happened, because a lot of times you scream at somebody when it was actually could have been partially your fault and stuff. And I think you do a great job of letting the guys know that here. I mean, it's racing, it's fun, but it gets heated. That's what it's all about.
I've seen a lot of friendships run over this. I've been cussed out from I mean, every word of the book. I mean, this past week I was thrown under the bus. I was bashed on social media on all platforms on the num thumb side from my personal Facebook. That's how bad it got. But I've some people take it too far, and we try not to do it here, especially on the iRacing side. Like I said, it's a simulator. Don't let this thing get to you. At the end of the day, we're all here for each other, and let's stay being friends and family, and that's what it should be. But thank you guys for the broadcast. Y'all do a hell of a job, and see y'all next week.
And see y'all next week, indeed, as we say goodbye there to Mr. DW, and we calm things down here from Daytona. It was a pretty tame race, at least for the first, what do you want to call it, the first 70 out of the 80 laps, and then 10 laps to go, things started to heat right back on up.
Yeah, and then we had a couple of green-white checkers there, but we got this thing done. We got it in the books, and I think the last lap was 84. I think that was the last lap count. So didn't go that far into extra innings, but 84 laps here at Daytona is a long way. So I'm sure these guys are tired and ready to hit the sack. This race is not just physically demanding; it takes a toll on you mentally as well. You know, running that close in traffic, everybody white knuckles. So great race, everybody. Definitely enjoyed watching it tonight.
No, it was a good race. It had a little bit of everything. The end was amazing. Looking forward to Atlanta next week.
And that indeed. As we calm things on down, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight with Mr. Kevin Delia in the 53 machine, picking up your race win. The 64 Joe Hoggard pushing him to that final position, having a great race on his own there, finishing in second with the third place rounding out to the 99 of America's driver, Mr. Albert Anderson. Skylar Herod hanging on for a solid fourth place finish there, as well as your hard charger of the day, the 005 AJ Evangelista, up 21 spots on the evening, picks up the fifth position here. In 45, the Mac Daddy Mark Collins fights his way to a sixth place finish. Tommy Walsh in the 9 machine, he had some beaten, battered, bruised parts to his car here tonight, but able to find his way up there to a 766 Drew Blaze as well, fighting alongside up there for an 8th place spot. You got the Joe David machine in the 6th, finishing things here tonight in 9th. With the 315, Zach the Hack Millet having a little bit of problem there towards the end of this race there on the final few laps, costing him there, but still finding himself inside of that top 10.
Yeah, I thought he was a sure podium, but yeah, he got involved in one of those late race incidents there. The 78 of Brian J. Boyd, he'll finish in 11th place. 12th place, PJ Cox of the 05. He started way up in 3rd. He'll finish 12th tonight. The 5 of Anthony Williams will finish in 13th place. 14th will be Jonathan Hammond in the 13 car. The 2 car of Scott Milner finishes in 15th after starting outside row number 2 here tonight at the beginning. 7 of Tristan Cotton finishing 16th. 17th, Dana Shepard in the 44. The 51 of Chris Klein finishes in 18th. He lost 10 spots on the night. Chris Gomes in the 41 to finish 19th. And rounding out your top 20, the 1 of Derek Welch.
17, Tate Cawthorn. 21st, 88, Michael Adamson. Instant at the end there. 22nd, 23rd, the 33 of Paul Ferdiani, the gambler. 32, Nick Biddy. 24th, 25th, Stephen Wood in that 19. And 00 Joe. 00 Joe Bennett in 26th.
Awesome. And that is indeed your field here tonight from Daytona. As always, we thank you all for being here and taking part in this action here with us, because you guys are the reason why we do this and have such a good time of doing it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, if you do enjoy any of the action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well so we can continue to grow this great racing community we got going on over here. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to the proud race sponsors, very much like, as soon as I find it, JP Designs and 3D Prints for sponsoring tonight's race. Thank you to you and putting out a little bit of extra cash. And of course, we also have to say a huge thank you as well to the other great sponsors like Martin Sports, Davidson Builders, DEP Graphics, Sim Gear Central, and Track Bar Media for helping provide this league and just aiding in with your support, because without it, these guys wouldn't be able to do half the things that they'd want to do, and you guys make it happen. So thank you guys so very much. So with that, we shut things down here tonight. We'll be back for Wednesday evening, where the Vigilante Racing League is going to tackle this same track here at Daytona in those trucks. It's been 2 weeks in the making, so it should be a fantastic run there. But we're just gonna have to wait until Wednesday to find on out. So until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.